coming at ya. Hey crew, this is the Spiritual Social. Welcome back to my channel. I'm Lexi, your local light worker. I'm a tarot reader and an astrologer, and I'm really happy to be bringing you today another channeled message interpretation from the Divine Masculine. We're going to be looking into what is the Divine Masculine feeling on a sexual, erotic, romantic level. This is something that I would like to turn into a weekly check-in. If you haven't seen last week's reading, I strongly suggest that you do. I will link it down below and also maybe attach it at the end of this video so that you can actually connect the message from last week with the one from today. The one from last week was a more general energetic check-in, and this week I wanted to create an 18+ reading to try to figure out where is the Divine Masculine at. Bear in mind, I will be using the term Divine Masculine, but I think and I feel that you also guys know that there are many different types of Divine Masculinities out there. It's just easier for me when I interpret to just focus on one core energetic masculine imprint, okay? So I pre-shuffle the cards here so that we could just dive straight into the messages. Let's find out what our Divine Masculine energy has to say to us today. The Four of Wands, the Hanged Man, the Star, the Three of Wands, the Queen of Swords, the Queen of Pentacles, Poseidon, flow, Garuda, travel, grabbing, this is mine, ecstasy, surrender to sensations, luck, south, adventure, soulmate, number 14, nourish, number 23, and duality. Okay, so the Divine Masculine is deeply fantasizing about having sex outdoors, a romantic and sexual encounter with the Divine Feminine in a natural landscape. I think it is because of the fact that for those of you that resonate with the fact that it is summer in the northern hemisphere of the world where you might find yourself, the Divine Masculine is really inspired by the warmth, by the smells, by the plant life, by just being outdoors and wanting to explore not only something earthy but also something watery. I feel that the Divine Masculine at the moment fantasizes about being outdoors next to a seascape or river landscape, someplace where there is a natural body of water flowing where he can just kiss and make love to his Divine Feminine. I'm getting a strong sense that also camping under the stars and having a picnic somewhere in a secluded place, being on the beach in a secluded place as well, potentially also next to some cave-like formations. These are all the areas where the Divine Masculine would like to couple and love on the Divine Feminine. I am tempted to say that the majority of the Divine Masculines out there at the moment do have options. However, there is the energy that they are keeping them at bay. I think that Jupiter in Pisces is helping our Divine Masculine get in touch with something akin to unconditional love, which is helping him rise into a deeper sense of understanding of how love and sexuality are blended on a highly spiritual level, and that he doesn't need to trade his self-worth by engaging into brief sexual encounters with women whose scent and taste he doesn't even enjoy. That's kind of what I'm getting. So I feel like in the past he would compromise. In the past he was in a much more radical, rational mindset. But at the moment the dam to his heart has been broken, Jupiter in Pisces is helping our divine masculine get in touch with his feelings. And once he got in touch with his feelings, he cannot just trade random, meaningless, just purely physical sex for something that he feels is a very deep romantic connection with his divine feminine. So I'm getting a sense that at the moment the divine masculine is saying no to random hookups, is saying no to cheap sex, is just in his own little world, going with the flow, but also abstaining from actually engaging in low energy interactions that would just give him a cheap thrill but will leave him emotionally empty. I'm also getting the sense that our divine masculines are fantasizing about having sex while in motion. So that could be potentially in a car, in a train, in a plane. I think that our divine masculines are also fantasizing about sex on a cruise ship, having sex in their own private little cabin with their divine feminine. Some of them are also fantasizing about bondage and ropes and having all sorts of fabric materials that they can tie up their divine feminine's hands especially, but might be also her feet, in order to kind of exert a little form of playful dominance over her body, so that I think that for some of the divine masculines out there, they know how fiery the divine feminine can get, and this kind of makes them want to kind of make her be a little bit submissive in bed, and that would be one way to get her to sit and enjoy the pleasure that he's delivering to her as they're coupling. I feel that our divine masculines have also stumbled upon a stroke of good fortune, and I think that this is because they have resolved the inner conflict within their hearts. If in the past their ultra-rational mindset was making them see reality and relationships as black and white, for example, you can only love somebody but you might not feel sex or sexual desire towards them, or you can only feel sexual desire and passion but you might not feel love for them. I feel that they're healing that. They are bringing this into one whole aspect of their self, and as their inner conflict is resolved, so is their capacity to imagine, to feel how love and sexuality are bonded. They are part of the same whole. It's like they've leveled up. And I think that they've been leveling up in privacy, in silence, in stillness. A lot of them had to be engaged in projects that they had to work on alone, independent projects, potentially a research or writing endeavor, a traveling, a far away from home endeavor. And during this time, by coming into contact with many different people from all walks of life, many different types of women as well, they understood, they got this higher perspective, and they understood that being with the soulmate, being with their divine feminine, feels very different than being with other types of women. That making love to their divine feminine, because of the strong emotional and spiritually fired up component, will always feel different than being with all the other beauties that they can be in this world. And that I think, and I feel it very strongly in my sacral chakra, that they have decided to go on the adventure of their lifetime. We see here the cosmos represented in number 2. This is a divinely guided union. And we also see here the earth floating on water and the bright star. If in the past they were unhopeful about whether they can be together with their divine feminine, something sparked them up. I think this higher perspective, the fact that they gathered a lot of life experience and now they can feel and understand the differences between various forms of relating, various forms of love and lust. And they're able to bring them together. They're not separating things anymore. And because they're coming into union within themselves, they're no longer pushing things apart, separating them, organizing them unnecessarily. Now they're coming into union with their divine feminines. I feel like for the majority of our divine masculines out there, they fantasize about putting their fingers inside of their divine feminines' mouths. I feel that kissing, sucking, a lot of oral pleasure is on the cards. I think that they want to tickle divine feminine's different sensations, and that might be part of the process why they might want to tie her to the bed so that they can lick and kiss various parts of her body without her having to resist. I also feel that divine masculines as well would appreciate it if they were the ones that were being grabbed and claimed and being told that they are taken and somehow dominated by the divine feminines. Not necessarily physically, but more so through a playful interaction with words. So I feel that they want to do the physical tickling of sensations, the physical domination, and they want to hear their divine feminines say that they want them, that they desire them, that feels really good, that they are theirs, that they want to make them theirs. I feel like there is this homecoming that is happening at the moment in more ways than one. Also a literal homecoming. The majority of the divine masculines that we saw last week as well in the message we received from Spirit in the last week's general reading, they are traveling to meet their divine feminines. And I feel that some of them are arriving in this period. Others of them are still in transit, and they are fantasizing about the pleasure that they could have with the divine feminine. A lot of them are strategists. They like to plan. They like to let you know what they're going to do before they do it to you, because that enhances the pleasure. While others are more spontaneous. So they are not telling you anything. They are keeping it as a surprise, and all of a sudden, you hear a knock on the door, you receive an email, you receive a direct message, and basically they are inviting you out. They're letting you know they're in the neighborhood or in front of your door. There is a strong feeling here of claiming, but it's a beautiful, soft claiming. So even though in bed there might be some playful dominance happening from the part of the divine masculine and some playful verbal claiming from the part of the divine feminine, the divine masculine ultimately just wants to just rest in the arms of the divine feminine after what has been the adventure of a lifetime, after they had to understand so many different things and learn to discern value from lack of value, worth from lack of worth. They are coming home to their prized beauty, and I feel that they're just going to bond with their divine feminines. There is this soul mating happening. It's beautifully nourishing. And I feel that at the same time, the divine masculines have understood that they can only have the adventure of their lifetime as long as they are together with their divine feminine rather than apart from her. If in the past they understood freedom and independence in this very childish form, as if I am just alone, me against the world, now they understand that true freedom is established when you cooperate with other people, when you collaborate, because when you are supported by other people, such as the divine feminine, then you can achieve so much more than what you can achieve only on your own, and to a certain extent rather struggling through life. They're going with the flow in more ways than one, and they really want to dive deep into the waters of our divine feminines. Wow, okay, so that was the message that I had for you guys. I really hope you have enjoyed this. Comment down below if it resonated. Make sure to like this video so that it can reach many more people out there in Twin Flame Connections. And I'm sending you so much love. Bye-bye.